Why I got you on here tonight. I want to know about that Bill S8 or C8 or whatever the hell it's called this week.
C9. Too bad I can't do a screen share.
Well, tell me what. Just tell us what C9. We believe you. You don't have to. We don't have to show anybody anything. We've been. You've been batting 1,000 for the last 5 years, so your word's good enough. What is happening with this Bill C9? I know you brought it up before, so what's going on now?
Okay, this thing is called. Oh, I just lost. I don't believe it. Just lost the page I had open on it. Where's okay? Bill C9. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
First session, 45th Parliament, 3-4 Charles the Third, 2025, House of Commons of Canada, Bill C9, an act to amend the criminal code, hate propaganda, hate crime, and access to religious or cultural places. First reading September 19th, a few days ago. So they're calling this the Online Harms Act unofficially. This enactment amends the criminal code too, among other things, repeal the requirement that the Attorney General consent to the institution of proceedings for hate propaganda offenses. Basically, they're taking the Attorney General out. He doesn't have to consent. Like if they're going to do something like a hate crime, it's a federal hate crime. Cops don't have to ask him anymore. Attorney General doesn't have to ask him any. Sorry, the Crown prosecutors don't have to ask the Attorney General anymore. And so it's basically opening the door to free for all, guys. Do whatever you want. Let's get some of these people convicted with this. B, and I'm reading this right off of the parliament.ca website, the official Canadian government one. Clause B, create an offense of willfully promoting hatred against any identifiable group by displaying certain symbols in a public place. So, say you're living in Quebec and you don't like the fact that someone's wearing a hijab or wearing a cross.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can get charged for hate crime, depending on what if you say anything about it, or it's going to be a and they haven't defined hate crime actually. It's such a loose interpretation. They can stretch this thing to cover anything like, well, I don't like your dog, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, you throw me in jail. He hates my dog. That's a hate crime.
Yeah.
That's they can stretch it even farther than that. Create a hate crime offense of committing an offense under the act or any other act of parliament that is motivated by hatred based on certain factors. And they get into a bunch of that stuff. D, create an offense of intimidating a person in order to impede them from accessing certain places that are primarily used for religious worship or by an identifiable group for certain purposes. And create an offense of intentionally obstructing or interfering with a person's lawful access to such places. Uh, do you see how this is so widely worded?
Mm-hmm. It's a combating hate act, is what it is, eh? But what hate?
Uh,
It's so loosely like So basically, what it is what you're telling me. It's they're making it easier to lay charges for hate speech and hate propaganda. No need for attorney general approval, is what you told me.
Willful promotion of hatred, terrorism, and hate symbols. 2-2. Everyone commits an offense who willfully promotes hatred against any identifiable group by displaying in any public place a symbol that is principally used by or principally associated with a listed entity as defined in subsection 83.01. Oh, let me see if I can scroll to 83.1. We can be. I can't find it in here. Of course, they wouldn't put it here.
Yeah, because it's
Oh,
very hard for them to clearly define the word hatred, right?
the Nazi Hakenkreuz, also known by the Nazi swastika or the Nazi double
Mm-hmm.
seeing room, also known as the SS bolts, or a symbol that so nearly resembles a symbol described in paragraph A or B, it is likely to be confused with that symbol. Now they get into the punishment. Everyone who commits an offense under subsection 2.2, which is what we just read, is guilty of indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years, or B, is guilty of an offense punishable on summary conviction, which means they can just slap you 2 years less a day on you. Subsections 3.3194 to 6 of the Act are replaced by the following. That's the original Hate Crime Act that was in Criminal Code. 3.2, no person shall be convicted of an offense under Section 2.2. A, if the display of the symbol was for a legitimate purpose, including a legitimate purpose related to journalism, religion, education, or art that is not contrary to the public interest, or if, in good faith, the display of the symbol was intended to point out for the purpose of removal matters producing or tending to produce feelings of hatred toward an identifiable group in Canada. Forfeiture. If a person is convicted of an offense under Section 1.2, 2.1, or 2.2, or Section 318, anything by means of or in relation to which the offense was committed, or such conviction may, in addition to any other punishment imposed, be ordered by the presiding provincial court judge or judge to be forfeited to His Majesty and right of the province in which that person is convicted for disposal as the Attorney General may direct. Exemption from seizure of communication facilities. Internet, social media, private text. Subsection 199(6) and 7 apply with any modifications that the circumstances require to subsection 1, 2, 2.1, or 2.2, or section 318. For greater certainty, the communication of a statement does not incite or promote hatred for the purposes of this section solely because it discredits, humiliates, hurts, or offends. Subsection 319 bracket 7. There used to be only 4 of them when I last read it about 6 years ago. So now they're 3.19 has got 7 sections in it now.
Yeah, you brought this up years ago on the channel, though. You brought this up like 5 years ago on the channel.
Well, Kevin was charged with this in 2018, as were a few others. Hatred means the emotion that involves detestation or vilification and that is stronger than disdain or dislike. Do you know what this? Do you know how low that bar is?
Yeah, so
Mike, I don't like your mustache. Actually, I really don't like your mustache. Okay, now it's a hate crime.
Wow. You know, again, this is what I'm hearing. It's going to limit free speech. It's the symbol ban that you told me is completely vague. Okay, and this may criminalize peaceful protests. Right, so if you're near a religious center, they could shut that down and criminalize any peaceful protests. And the broad definition of hate. I mean, it could give prosecutors too much power, right? And then let's not forget the risk of overreach. You know, I fear that it could be used to silence and dissent, and not fight the real hate, Eduardo. They won't be fighting the real hate, so to say. So
it all depends on if it's a feeling, Mike. Do you feel that someone hates you? Or hates something about you?
A ton of people hate me, but that's okay.
Well, no, it's not okay, because everyone who is found guilty of an indictable offense under subsection 1 is liable to a term of imprisonment of not more than 5 years if the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 2 years or more, but less than 5 years. B, 10 years. This is the maximum. If the maximum term of the imprisonment for the included offense is 5 years or more, but less than 10 years. 14 years if the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 10 years or more, but less than 14 years. Life if the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 14 years or more, and up to imprisonment for life.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell me is I have 1,000 videos out there going back to 2010, basically stating the Chinese destroyed Canada, the money laundering destroyed Canada, created artificial shortages, made it impossible for Canadians to get in their own real estate. First-time home buyer loans came of this. Supply and demand lies. Vacant homes. The Chinese destroyed Canada. So somebody sees that video, says, well, I don't like how you're talking about Chinese. You're going to jail. So I'm going to jail because the Chinese laundered $2.2 to $2.6 trillion through Canadian real estate, starved the crap out of it, people. Their property prices have gone up. Property taxes have gone up in response. And I'm going to go to jail because I'm pointing that out, that the Chinese destroyed Canada?
Well, if they feel that you may hate them, yeah.
Interesting. I'm just pointing out the fact why we can't afford real estate in Canada. Why there's so many white Canadians on the street homeless.
Oh, I just seen this. Endorsement under subsection 320.1001 bracket 1. It used to be only 320.123 or 4. Now it's 320.1001. They're gonna have 1,000. They think they're gonna have to add 1,000 definitions to this law. The court shall endorse on the information of or indictment, as the case may be, the included offense that has been proved by the evidence, and in the absence of evidence to the contrary, the endorsement is proof of that fact. The included offense that has been proved by the evidence. Now, what are they going to use for evidence?
There's no
it's
case
based
law.
on feelings,
There's no
man.
case law on this. There's no case law on this. What are they going to do? It's giving too much power to prosecutors. That's all. And they're gonna criminalize peaceful protest. And then they're gonna, free speech is at risk.
Oh no, it's not at risk. It's gone. Don't even think about free speech is at risk. It's gone. This is do a sign of the cross. It's gone. It's done. And free speech is the basis of any democracy, because if we can't debate or have differing opinions or have different ideas, and this basically limits it pretty tight, because it's got really loose definitions. What can I say? This is the one that takes us down, and they're gonna use this to impose more censorship on platforms. Mm-hmm. They don't have to. It's nasty,
but everyday people can be charged unfairly, though.
Oh, it doesn't matter as long as if they feel hate, you're going to jail. Say some native guy sees you wearing that hat. Look at your hat. It's a native guy, right? With the feather.
It's the Cleveland Indians.
If he somehow thinks that he hates that idea or that you hate him, and that's why you're wearing it.
What? Why? I like old Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm just saying, if someone feels that it's hate, we're basing this on feelings, this law.
But that's what he feels. That's not my problem. I feel offended that the people that built this country and built the roads and built the running water and everything that we use every day are being treated like absolute crap. They're not being hired. And the majority of the people on the streets and homeless are white Canadians in European expansion. So what about us? What do we get for building the country, allowing you to have your roads, to have your protests, to protest against us? How about that? I hate all that. Yeah.
Okay, so now you just did hate speech against the government. Let's throw you in jail for 20 years.
Yeah.
Because someone in the government feels offended.
The prison fearful. My dad built. Yeah. Thank you. The prison my dad built. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No, not anymore, Mike. You see how they're going to use this to shut us down? That's why they call this. They kind of scrubbed the name Online's Harm Act, but that's what it was called. So, hey, get ready for the gulags. What can I say? Hopefully, your wife doesn't have to throw bread over the fence like my grandmother had to do for my grandfather back in the Second World War.
Gabriel Hill just said it right there. This isn't going to work. It's not going to work unless they're going to set this up to entrap a couple of thousand people they don't like. A couple of thousand people they don't like. Entrapped us, get rid of us, and then just kind of fizzle it out after the dissident is gone. It could just be a trap.
Mike, they used in Russia, I think something like 800 or 900 arrests last year for criticizing the government. In the UK, it was over 4,000. Facebook posts, memes. Look at Son of Enos. He was reposting Jewish rabbis, what they were saying, stuff that's in the Talmud, which us Goyim are not supposed to know about.
Mm-hmm.
They took him down pretty damn quick. They locked him up, threw away the key.
Real quick in a heartbeat.